If you've been wondering why I've been so quiet on YouTube, it's because I've been in the digital gulag again. So I had a 2-week ban, and it kind of reminded me of something Max Igan said. Max Igan. You know who I mean, Max Igan. He does a lot of walkie-talkie videos from Mexico. He used to be in Australia, but he got out of Australia when everything got very intense, because he was one of the people speaking out, and it was getting to be quite a fascist state in Australia. So he relocated to Mexico, where he does his walkie-talkie videos. Now, you may have seen him under the Crow House, but I remember him saying, you know, there's going to come a time, quite possibly, when people say, oh, what happened to that strange guy who was doing all of these walkie-talkie videos? Well, I wonder whatever happened to him. Same thing could be said of me. Whatever happened to her, that strange woman who used to wander around the Derbyshire countryside making videos? I wonder what happened to her. And that is the danger of this all digital future that is being bulldozed through. That ultimately, all this content, there will come a time when it's just wiped. It's just wiped from the face of history, and no one will ever know that anyone spoke out about it. So that is the natural conclusion if the World Economic Forum program, totalitarian control program, has its way. So there are many of us who are stepping up our activities, not just speaking out, but finding ever more ingenious ways to stand strong and stand up to the bullying and intimidation and say, no, we do not consent. So if anything, my resolve is even more tenacious and determined. With every extra bit of silencing, with every bit of censorship, with every strike, it just makes me even more determined, ever more determined. So the big piece of news since I last posted, which was 2 weeks ago, when would that have been? About the 11th of January. The big news is that we've just launched a new political party, and we've kind of soft launched it on Monday, and we wanted to do something on Monday because if you've been following the astrology, it was super powerful, because there was a new moon on Saturday the 21st, and then the next day Uranus went direct, and so by Monday all of the planets, every planet, is moving direct, which is quite a rare thing, and it's kind of like fast forward energy. It's a bit like a bow being pulled back, and then that energy can just move forward very, very fast. So it gave us a very brilliant birth chart on Monday. Moon 29 degrees of Aquarius, which is exactly conjunct with my Saturn in Aquarius at 29 degrees of Aquarius. I'm coming up to my second Saturn return. And one of the very interesting things about our party is that one of the co-founders, there's 3 women who, 3 of us involved, a bit like at the heart of Cressbrook. There are 3 core women. It's very much the future of the building blocks of the future are triangles, not squares, because obviously the square is the Masonic 4 corners of the temple symbol, locking down the 3D realm, whereas the triangle is very much the kind of heaven and earth, 6-pointed star, the Sri Yantra, all of those symbols are all based on triangles. So it's a very powerful thing to have a triangle at the heart of anything. So, let me just catch my breath. So one of my co-creators, Dr. Lynn Irving, PhD. She's not a medical doctor, she's a PhD. Very amazing woman. Now, she was the deputy leader of the Freedom Alliance, and she was also forced out last year. We both, and obviously I got expelled from the Freedom Alliance in January. And the interesting thing is that this is from a Chinese horoscope perspective. This will make sense if you're into metaphysics. We are, of course, now in the year of the rabbit, and Lynn is a tiger and I am a dragon. So those two kind of sides of the tornado, the tiger year and the dragon year, they're the kind of two walls of the tornado. And the rabbit is like the still eye of the storm. So it's very symbolic that Lynn is a tiger. She's actually a 1974 wood tiger, and the natural element of the tiger is wood. And I'm a 1964 wood dragon, so we've both got a lot of creative energy. And in the heart is the water rabbit. And of course the rabbit is also wood, but it's yin wood. So it's very fitting that our logo is a lotus flower, which is essentially yin wood. So yang wood would be like a huge tree, like an oak tree or a giant redwood. That would be yang wood. And yin wood is like a blade of grass or a flower. So the lotus is a very beautiful yin wood symbol, especially as it grows in the water out of the mud. So it's kind of symbolic of kind of phoenix rising from the ashes, that kind of symbolism. The lotus flower grows from the mud at the bottom of the pond. So given it's a water lily, essentially, that's even more poignant because it is the water rabbit year right now. Sorry if I'm going slightly off-piste, but I do find these metaphysical snippets very fascinating and very synchronistic. It was funny because when the Freedom Alliance nonsense was unfolding, and of course what happened was I received a call from someone saying that the old leadership of the Freedom Alliance refused to sign over the party to the new executive unless I was expelled. And so I basically put this into the group, and I said, look, do you want me to resign? You know, because I've heard this on the grapevine. Would it help if I resign? Someone in there just said, I just don't believe it. And I said, well, ask the horse's mouth. So they contacted Jonathan Tilt, who confirmed, allegedly by text, that it was absolute nonsense. There was absolutely no truth in the rumour that they were holding the party to ransom in that way. But hey presto, within a couple of hours I was expelled. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So Lynn and I decided to join forces along with Julie Tasker, who is an amazing woman, very gutsy, awakened therapist who is standing to be the mayor of Mansfield in the forthcoming local government elections. And they're coming up in May, which is why we had to get our application in pretty quickly. We kind of cut through all the admin like a knife through butter. And it's just super exciting. So we launched it on Monday. Loads of people have signed up as members. So if you feel the calling to become a member, then please do join. Come and join us, come and join us. Sounds like a bit of like a Salvation Army rally cry, doesn't it? Of course, if you want to stand as a candidate, then, you know, the more the merrier. And we really want to make the party a flat structure. So whilst three of us who have created it, essentially that group of candidates, all the decision making will be made by the group. So very much a sociocracy. It's very much how we run Crestbrook, actually, the Crestbrook community. Even though people say, oh, Rachel's the leader. No, it's not actually the case. That I may well do a lot of stuff at Crestbrook. I mean, I live I live closest of all the people in the community, and not many of them live nearby. So they don't visit that often, but I'm here quite regularly, although this is my first visit for a while because it's been so snowy and icy, and it's the roads are a bit treacherous getting down here into the dale. So it's nice to come back. This is kind of my spiritual home, and I just love it here. I haven't got Kobe. Kobe's not very well today. So, and I normally come in the morning, but this is kind of quite a dark, dank, rainy afternoon, and the sun's just going down. So it's quite sweet there at dusk. Very deserted, this dale, for all of the local protesters. Very rare to see anyone here, actually, even at weekends. And lots of walkers coming through, but it's not a brilliantly well-known route, and most of the walkers go up the dale and along the top across to Lytton, and they don't tend to walk the dale. So it's so beautiful to come here and clear my energy and just touch base with you and say hello. And yes, and so just to say, if I do lose my YouTube channel, which is it's only a matter of time before they take it down, it's going to happen at some point. So if you do want to keep in touch, then please do follow me on Telegram. Rachel Speaks Out is my channel. I'll put the link to that in the video notes. And also, if you want, you can sign up for regular updates, because if I do get taken down, then I tend to send e-shots and let you know if I'm posting on Odyssey, because I know most people, I am backed up to Odyssey with all my videos, but I know most people aren't often on Odyssey, so it's the kind of place you only tend to go if you've got a link to. So yeah, and I do promise with my emails not to bombard you with stuff, promoting stuff. I mean, I did send out an email, Vote Love, yesterday, just because I was so excited about the new party. I mean, people have said, oh, what a terrible name, or it's a terrible name. Well, it's kind of got a Marmite response, because actually most people are saying that's a fantastic name. But I think the key thing, this is what was a really interesting thing about the Freedom Alliance. It's like, oh, we've got to be taken seriously. But, you know, who takes politics seriously anymore? I mean, that was the interesting thing about all of the by-elections that the Freedom Alliance took part in. By far and away, the majority of people, I mean, in the last by-election, the Stretford and Urmston by-election, 74.2% of the electorate didn't actually vote. So that's the audience to go for, in my humble opinion, is all the people who are just so fed up with politics, and they're fed up with serious parties and all of this kind of power play and ego. And, you know, let's have fun with it. Let's just flood the political system with love. You know, how amazing would that be? And then there's other views of like, oh, it's too fragmented, and why didn't you join the Heritage Party? Well, we were part of the Freedom Alliance. I mean, that was the idea of the Freedom Alliance, to collaborate with other parties with the same views. But ego's always got in the way, and, you know, just all of the rules and the regulations. And you know, and this happens a lot in the freedom movement, you know, despite saying, oh, yeah, I believe in freedom, that in truth, all of those programs of the World Economic Forum are deeply embedded. All of those programs of command and control, and if you don't comply, we're going to expel you. So it's quite interesting, because I was laughing with John, who's part of our community, because he was like, let's hope you're not expelled. So I said, no, we wrote the Constitution. We wrote the Constitution of the Love Party so that no one can ever be expelled. So I think I'm pretty safe. Although the leaders are kind of nominal leaders, and you know, they're going to be voted on every year. So I can easily be voted out. Although our roles are only nominal. I mean, I'm campaigns officer, electoral commission. Lynn is the leader, and Julie is the nominations officer, and Lynn's also the treasurer. So you have to have a minimum of 2 people holding 3 roles at electoral commission. I mean, there's so much red tape you wouldn't believe to run you probably would believe, to run a political party. But luckily, my background is actually in taxation accountancy, so if push comes to shove, I am actually quite good at doing all of the kind of red tape nonsense, although in truth I am a marketeer. So, oh look, we've got blue skies coming. You see? How lovely. So, wonderful to connect with you. And sorry, there's not really much point to this video, but I just wanted to say hello and sending you lots of love. Okay, have a great day. Bye for now.